Happy Friday, y'all. Look who is off this afternoon.
Yeah, decided to take a half a day off. Much deserved, right?
Yes, I convinced him to take a half day and come and hang out with me. It is estate sale day. I go to estate sales on Fridays. So today I get to bring Keith with me, and this is rare.
Yeah, there better be some good stuff for me to take a half a day off to go to estate sales.
Well, I can't make any promises. I mean, these things are definitely hit and miss, but they're always really fun. So we are looking for just anything that strikes our fancy, but mostly vintage 80s stuff. So let's go see what we can find.
All right.
I just was telling Keith that I was looking for a pan to make gluten-free Twinkies, and look what I found. The universe heard me, and now we are going to be making homemade Twinkies. Are you excited, babe?
Oh yeah.
Look, it even came with a little Twinkie guy. I'm dying right now. This is so perfect. Excited? Yes, homemade Twinkies.
Yes, every benefit of this.
That's right. Forget the rest of the sales. Let's just go home and make some Twinkies.
That's a good idea. We got sidetracked by Goodwill, but on the way of getting sidetracked by the Goodwill,
we got double sidetracked.
We got double sidetracked by, what is it called?
Fun Finds.
Fun Finds.
So, y'all, we are not in our neck of the woods. We're actually on the other side of town. So we never come over here. So we just are easily distracted. And Keith was like, ooh, Fun Finds. It says they have thrifts and more.
And a whole lot more.
A whole lot more.
A whole lot more.
We're not really sure what that is, but
we'll be the judge of that.
We'll go see. What'd you think, babe? Was that fun?
Yeah, it was deceivingly large.
Big.
Yeah, it looked really small, but you got in there, it just kept going and going. And their prices were really good.
They were. It wasn't air conditioned, so we didn't stay for like maybe as long as I would have liked, just because it was really hot.
Yeah.
But I think it's amazing.
So if you're ever over in Wichita, come check out
Fun Finds?
Fun Finds. All right, we are at the second estate sale of the day.
Have we mentioned it's really hot? We're under a heat advisory in Wichita today.
It's really hot here. That's a little bitty car.
Dag. That is a little bitty car. He probably thinks you're filming him.
Yeah.
Actually, you're filming yourself. Hey guys, look at this little bitty car.
Look at that.
It's so cute. I bet he didn't have any trouble finding a parking spot.
No, he could have just
we had to
pretty much anywhere.
We had to park way down the street, but we are almost there. Let's check it out. 25% off.
Ooh, sweet.
That's why you go on Fridays.
What'd you find, Abby?
I found a awesome TV VCR combo like the one I had in college.
Yes.
And Keith worked at Blockbuster, so he might remember using one of these. It is a Vhs Cassette Rewinder. The only thing this machine does is rewind them.
All right.
So did you use these at Blockbuster, Ben?
Yeah, we had two.
I mean, you're supposed to be kind and rewind, but let's face it, most people didn't.
Most people didn't.
But look at this dress I found. Tommy Hilfiger. So cute. And it's going to be $6.
Sweet.
So, yeah.
I was pretty impressed with this.
I love that old radio. Yeah, that's awesome. These old cameras. Look at that. Very cool. Lots of good finds here.
Team Edward or Team Jacob?
Team Edward. Edward for the win.
Team Edward.
Okay, guys, we're back from the estate sales. I got my Twinkie kit here, and I've gone ahead and washed the pan. I found a recipe for gluten-free Twinkies on Pinterest, of course. I will link it below, and it uses my favorite gluten-free flour, which is cut for cut. So if those of you don't know, if you haven't been watching us for a while, I have celiac disease. So things like Twinkies are something that I never get to have. I do remember having them as a kid growing up and loving them. So I'm super excited to try this homemade version so I can have them again. So here we go. Okay, here are the ingredients that we're gonna use to make our homemade gluten-free Twinkies. Cup for cup gluten-free flour, sugar, baking powder, oil, vanilla, and it calls for 7 eggs. And then for the filling, you'll need heavy whipping cream, confectioner's sugar, and butter, and then some more of the vanilla. So pretty basic ingredients, but I think the most important thing is gonna be this pan so we can get that authentic Twinkie shape. And the kit also came with this piping bag, and it looks like it was never used. It's still in the package. And so we can use this to pipe our filling into our Twinkies. The first step is to separate the egg whites for all of these eggs. Luckily I don't even know where I got this, I think at a craft fair or something, this really handy egg yolk separator. And so it's really cool because you can just crack the egg into here, and then the white comes out this little hole in the side, and you can pour it into your bowl. Now I only have to do 6 more of these. So this recipe is kind of interesting and different from other baking recipes I've done where you're just making like a regular cake. You actually want to separate the eggs, and in this mixing bowl I have just the egg whites, and then the egg yolk and the other wet ingredients whisked together here, and then the dry ingredients are in here. So that's just like our flour, sugar, baking powder, and then we're going to beat these eggs until they turn like stiff, like a meringue. And I'm guessing that this is what's gonna give the Twinkies their distinctive sort of spongy feel, almost like an angel food cake when you would whip the egg white. So I don't know if that's why, but it's a really unique recipe, and I hope that it's gonna have that light, fluffy texture I remember from the Twinkies of my childhood. And I haven't had them, I mean, even since I've been gluten-free for over 5 years, but even before that, I cannot remember the last time I had a Twinkie. So I'm pretty excited. Let's get started putting the ingredients together and get these things in the oven. We've got to first turn this on high and whip our egg whites. So here we go. Like magic, we have whipped egg whites, and they are forming a peak, which is what we want. The next step is to whisk together the wet and dry ingredients. Now the final step before we bake these is to fold in our egg whites into this mixture. And folding, we just want to barely stir it because we want it to be incorporated, but we don't want those eggs to not be fluffy. So we're gonna just barely stir it, fold it in. This is a really interesting recipe. I hope it turns out good. It smells good. Look at those. They certainly look like the right color and consistency. They're kind of bouncy. They bounce back when you touch them. We're supposed to let them cool for about 5 minutes, and then we're gonna remove them from the pan. Check those out. They look awesome. Now, as much as I would like to tear into these warm Twinkies, we have to let them cool and put the filling in. That's like the important key ingredient, right? So while we're waiting for them to cool, I'm gonna make another batch because I have tons of batter left, and I'm going to make the filling. I'm done filling the Twinkies and they are finished. I ended up with 2 pans, 2 batches, which was about 16 Twinkies. So that's a pretty nice batch. I'm gonna try freezing a couple of them and see how they do, because if I have a craving for Twinkies, it'd be nice to have them on hand and not have to make this. It took me a couple hours. It was a little bit labor intensive, and I'm not really a baker per se, but I think they're gonna be amazing. So I'm gonna bring my official taste tester over here and see what he thinks. Okay, Keith, grab a Twinkie and see what you think. See if it measures up.
All right.
Okay, cheers. Oh y'all, those are really good.
It's good. Probably better than a Twinkie.
Right, because it's softer.
Yeah. It's like
and fresher.
It's like a fresh Twinkie.
I was telling them, I mean, it might have been, it's probably been over 10 years since I've even had a Twinkie.
Me too.
This is really good, you guys. Thumbs up?
Yeah, thumbs up.
I mean, I asked for Twinkies, I had a craving, and the universe delivered.
It was just meant to be.
You never know what you're gonna find at estate sales. What should I think about next?
$1 million.
Lamborghini. Thanks for watching, you guys. Happy treasure hunting. If you're out for estate sales, let us know in the comments below what's the coolest thing you ever found at an estate sale. And we will see you next time. In case we don't see ya, good afternoon.
Good evening.
Good night.